Every Friday after work, I'd stop at Miller's grocery store. There was an old man at Register 3 who'd been there 30 years or more. Same blue vest, same crooked smile, always called me young man still. Even after my beard turned gray, he never lost that simple gift. He knew every kid by first name, and every widow in the county. One December just before Christmas, a young mama stood in line. Milk, diapers, bread, and medicine. Her card got declined 3 times. She whispered, "Put the toys back." Her little boy just looked away before anybody said a word. That old cashier reached beneath the counter, pulled out an envelope, and quietly paid the whole bill. He said, "Christmas ain't something you buy, it's something you become." The whole store fell silent, except that little boy crying as he hugged his mama tight. Some people preach kindness, some people clock in and live it. The following Monday morning, Register 3 stood empty. A little handwritten sign read, "Frank retired yesterday. Thank you for 31 wonderful years." That's when we all realized nobody had ever asked who had been filling that envelope every December. 3 weeks later, the new cashier found another envelope. Inside was $500 and one short note. "If somebody needs this, don't ask their name. Signed, Frank." Now every Christmas there's still an envelope under Register 3. Nobody knows who puts money in it anymore, because the people Frank helped started helping too. Funny how generosity works, it never really ends, it just changes hands. There was a man in Amarillo everybody knew by sight, riding an old green bicycle from morning until night. No fancy truck, no business sign, no ads in any paper, just a paint-stained denim jacket and a pocket full of brushes. He'd stop at farms and trailer parks, little houses off the road, painting names on rusty mailboxes where the prairie grasses grow. $10 if you had it, free if times were running tight, and somehow every mailbox looked brand new in the evening light. Nobody knew much about him except his name was Ray. He never talked about the past or where he'd come from anyway. But every Sunday after church, he'd sit beneath the cottonwoods, sketching barns and windmills like nobody else could. Then one spring a tornado tore through Carson County hard, ripped roofs off homes and scattered lives across 100 yards. Families lost photographs, letters, keepsakes from the years, the kind of things that can't be fixed with lumber, nails, and tears. That's when the man who painted mailboxes picked up more than paint and steel. He started painting memories for folks trying to heal. Oh, wedding days and harvest moons, Grandpa standing by the fields, and every brushstroke seemed to say, some things survive if they're remembered still. For months he worked inside the church from sunrise until dark, turning faded snapshots into pieces of the heart. One by one the townsfolk came to see what he could do, and every painting brought back pieces of the lives they once knew. Then a reporter from Dallas came asking for his name, said the whole state's talking about these beautiful works he'd made. Ray just smiled and shook his head, said the story ain't about me, it's about helping people hold on to what they thought they'd never see. Yeah, the man who painted mailboxes picked up more than paint and steel. He started painting memories for folks trying to heal. Oh, wedding days and harvest moons, grandmas dancing in the fields, and every brushstroke seemed to say, some things survive if they're remembered still. When autumn came, he disappeared just as quietly as he'd arrived, left no address, no forwarding trail, just colors that were left behind. But in the church hall hangs a sign written by a child one day, thank you for bringing back our stories, and nobody ever took it away. Now every mailbox down those roads still shines beneath the Texas sky, but what folks talk about these days ain't the names he painted on the side. It's how one stranger showed a town that healing takes more than time, and sometimes the richest people in the world leave everything behind. Yeah, sometimes the richest people in the world leave everything behind. I was cleaning out the boathouse down by Beaver Lake, just outside of Rogers, Arkansas, when I found an old green tackle box covered in dust and spider webs. It belonged to my grandpa Eddie, best fisherman this town had known. Been gone near 15 14 summers now, but somehow that place still felt like home. Inside were lures and faded bobbers, a pocket knife worn smooth with age. Then underneath a bundle of line, I found an envelope tucked away. There was a photograph of Grandma June standing by the water in '58, and a little gold ring wrapped in paper with words scribbled on the page. It said, if you find this ring someday, don't wait too long to say what your heart's afraid to say. Life moves faster than a river runs, and tomorrow ain't promised to anyone. I almost lost your grandma once, too stubborn to tell her how I felt. Son, love's the only thing worth risking for. That note hit me like a bell. That night I drove across the county to a little house on Maple Street, where a girl I'd loved since high school days had nearly become a memory. We sat beneath her front porch light while crickets sang through the dark, and for the first time in my whole life, I spoke straight from the heart. And it said, if you find this ring someday, don't wait too long to say what your heart's afraid to say. Life moves faster than a river runs, and tomorrow ain't promised to anyone. Lost your grandma once, too stubborn to tell her how I felt. Son, love's the only thing worth risking for. That note hit me like a bell. 3 months later, down by the shoreline, where the water caught the evening glow, I slipped that old gold ring onto her hand and watched happy tears start to flow. Some treasures never come from the water, they're the ones hidden deep in your soul. Yeah, I found that ring someday, and I finally found the words I was afraid to say. Life still moves like a river runs, but now I ain't facing it alone. Grandpa's gone, but his lesson remains, carried through generations like a song. And every time I look at her smile, I thank him for holding on to that ring so long. Yeah, love was waiting in a tackle box all along. I saw her standing by the gas station out on Highway 84. The summer storm was rolling in, thunder shaking the store. She held a cardboard coffee cup, hair dancing in the wind. And something in that moment made the whole world slow again. I offered her a ride to town before the clouds broke loose. She laughed and said, only if you're playing something good with roots. An old country song came through the speakers, crackling low. And somewhere between two verses, I forgot where I was going. We spent that Friday driving roads that barely had a name, crossing little county bridges while the sky poured down like rain. She told me about Georgia and the dreams she left behind. I told her how I'd built these walls one heartbreak at a time. The windshield wipers kept the beat as evening settled in, and every mile beside her felt like a place I'd never been. Not because the road was new, but because she made it shine like sunlight breaking through a storm I'd carried for a long time. Now every time the rain comes down, I hear her laughing through this town like a melody drifting from an old FM. And I fall in love all over again. She turned gray skies into gold somehow, made forever feel like right now. Every drop that hits this roof tonight still whispers her name in the rain outside. 3 years later by the river, where the willow shadows sway, I got down on one knee at sunset as the daylight slipped away. She cried before I asked the question, said yes before I spoke, and the river carried echoes through the Tennessee smoke. Now there's a photograph beside our bed from that summer stormy day. Two young hearts beneath the station sign while the clouds rolled away. Sometimes life arrives so quietly, you almost miss the sign. Then one unexpected moment changes everything inside. Now every time the rain comes down, I hear her laughing through this town like a melody drifting from an old FM. And I fall in love all over again. She turned gray skies into gold somehow, made forever feel like right now. Every drop that hits this roof tonight still whispers her name in the rain outside. People spend their whole life searching for a feeling they can't explain. I found mine on a roadside shoulder in the middle of a summer rain. And when we're old and the years move on, when silver finds her hair, I'll still thank those storm clouds rolling in for leading me right there. So let the rain keep falling down across these fields outside our town. Every drop's a memory I can't replace of the day heaven put her in my way. She turned a passing storm into a lifetime, turned a lonely road into a finish line. And every night when the thunder rolls again, I still hear her name in the rain. Yes, every night when the thunder rolls again, I still hear her name in the rain. Main Street, Tennessee, late July heat. I was fixing up a Chevy across from Maple Street when I looked up from the engine and caught a glimpse inside a little bridal shop with lace hanging in the light. There she stood by the window with a tape measure in hand, pinning up a wedding gown, humming with the radio band. A strand of hair kept falling, she kept brushing it away, and somehow that simple moment stole my breath that day. For weeks I'd find excuses just to walk that side of town. Need a coffee, need some nails, anything to come around. She'd wave through the glass and smile every time we met, the kind that makes a man believe in things he ain't believed in yet. Then one Friday after closing, as the sun was sinking low, I finally crossed the street instead of letting another chance go. We talked until the courthouse clock struck 10:30, and before I drove away, I knew I'd see her again. She was the dress in the window, the answer I never knew I needed, like a light shining soft through the evening glow. When my heart had nearly quit believing, she didn't crash into my life like a storm rolling through. She came slow like a summer sunset, painting everything new. And every road I traveled led me somehow to the dress in the window, girl I fell into. 3 years later on a Sunday, church bells filled the air. The whole town gathered smiling as she walked down the aisle there. And hanging in the front display, where I first saw her stand, was the very dress she'd stitched herself with her own two hands. I watched her coming toward me through the tears in her eyes, and every prayer I'd whispered finally fell to life. Funny how forever started with a glance across the street and a man too shy to walk over and speak. She was the dress in the window, the answer I never knew I needed, like a light shining soft through the evening glow. When my heart had nearly quit believing, she didn't crash into my life like a storm rolling through. She came slow like a summer sunset, painting everything new. And every road I traveled led me somehow to the dress in the window and the girl I fell into. Now there's a little girl sleeping upstairs tonight, with her mama's green eyes and her smile so bright. And sometimes when I lock up the garage after dark, I still look across Main Street and thank God where it all started. Yeah, she was the dress in the window, a simple moment nobody else would have seen. But some of the greatest love stories begin in places ordinary as can be. Now that old shop still glows every evening downtown, and every else around. I'm reminded that forever sometimes starts with a view of a dress in the window and a dream coming true. Every Tuesday at 6:15, she'd walk into Murphy's Cafe alone, order sweet tea and chicken pie, sit 3 tables from the window. I'd be there with my black coffee, pretending to read the local news. Truth was, I knew every little habit, every smile, every pair of boots. For 7 months I never spoke, just nodded when our eyes would meet. She'd leave $1 in the tip jar, always wave to everyone she'd see. Oh, Miss Betty caught me watching, laughed and said, boy, you'll never know if you keep falling in love every Tuesday without saying hello. 3 tables from the window, 3 steps too scared to take. I could rope a wild Mustang, but my heart was bound to break. Funny how the strongest hands can still tremble when love is near. Sometimes forever waits on one small word, the hardest one to hear. The next Tuesday I got there early, bought 2 slices of pecan pie. When she walked in, I pulled out the chair and somehow found the nerve to smile. She laughed and said, it's about time. I wondered how long you'd wait. I've been sitting 3 tables from the window, hoping you'd ask me on a date. 3 tables from the window, 3 steps I finally made. Turns out all those silent Tuesdays we're leading to this day. Funny how the strongest hands can still tremble when love is near. But one little chance can change your life when you choose courage over fear. Now every anniversary we stop by that little place, order pie and sweet iced tea, and smile at the empty space. Sometimes a shy young couple's there, looking just like we once did. So I quietly pay their check and leave before they notice it. 3 tables from the window, that's where our story starts. Not with fireworks or fancy words, just 2 ordinary hearts. Now our grandkids laugh when they hear how close we came to missing this, all because a country boy finally leaned in for a kiss. Yeah, love doesn't always arrive like thunder. Sometimes it waits 3 tables from the window. Station clock stopped working years ago, just hangs there crooked in the Tennessee cold. But every Friday night at 9:30, that old freight train still rolls by. I sit on the bench where we carved our names, back when forever sounded easy to say. The paint's all peeling from the depot walls, but some memories never fade at all. You left this town in the summer of '99, chasing California dreams and city lights. I stayed behind with a mechanic's wage, fixing engines while the years turned pages. Folks said I'd forget you after all this time, but they never saw those blue-green eyes, or heard the promises we whispered low as that midnight whistle echoed through the hills. Like the last train through Pine Hollow, you come and go inside my mind, rolling through the dark of memory, leaving old sparks behind. Every whistle sounds like your goodbye. Every rail still carries your name. No matter how many years roll by, my heart still waits beside that train. Last October, I got a handwritten note, no return address, just a familiar stroke. It said I'll be passing through next Friday night. If you're there, maybe we'll make things right. I read those words 100 times or more, standing in my garage by the open door. wondering if fate still worked that way, or if some dreams arrive too late. Like the last train through Pine Hollow, you come and go inside my mind, rolling through the dark of memory, leaving old sparks behind. Every whistle sounds like your goodbye. Every rail still carries your name. And no matter how many years roll by, my heart still waits beside that train. The headlights cut through the mountain mist, the whistle cried across the ridge. Then I saw you step down from that rail car door, just like the girl I loved before. A little older, a little warm, but smiling like she finally come home. Like the last train through Pine Hollow, you came back through the night, rolling out of all those lost years, and somehow made them right. Now the whistle sounds like hope again, not a ghost I can't outrun. And every Friday when that train rolls through, it reminds me love ain't done. Yeah, some hearts keep holding on till the last train finally brings you home. First snow hit the fence lines yesterday, dusting all the cattle trails in white. I was patching up a gate on the north side ranch when I saw her truck roll in at twilight. 3 years gone since she drove away, leaving nothing but a note and a ring. Now she's standing by the old windmill like she never missed a thing. She said, I heard your mama wasn't doing well. And she looked down at her hands, the same hands that used to hold mine tight back when we made all our plans. The mountains stood silent in the distance, like they knew we had words left unsaid. And every mile she traveled since then was written in her eyes instead. Under this Montana sky tonight, the stars are burning clear and bright, like the just waited through the cold and time, and here we are, beneath that endless light, under this Montana sky tonight. Mama smiled when she walked through the door, like a prayer had finally come true. Coffee steamed on the kitchen table, and the whole room felt brand new. We talked until the moon climbed high, about the years we can't get back. Then she reached across and touched my hand, and somehow closed every crack. Under this Montana sky tonight, the stars are burning clear and bright, like they never stop believing we'd find our way to every lonely mile and every hard goodbye. If love's a fire, ours never died. It just waited through the cold and time, and here we are, beneath that endless light, under this Montana sky tonight. The wind still sings across the prairie grass, and tomorrow ain't promised to anyone. So I pulled her close and whispered low, I'm done running from what we've become, under this Montana sky tonight. I can finally see my life, not in the dreams I chased too far away, but in the arms that held on through the fight. The mountains watch, the stars still shine, and for the first time the future feels right. Yeah, forever starts right here tonight, under this Montana sky tonight. Under this Montana sky tonight.
I was headed home to Tennessee after 6 long months overseas. Window seat, row 12, seat 8, just counting miles till yesterday. Then a little girl climbed on the plane, holding a stuffed bear in the rain. She stopped beside the empty chair and asked, is somebody sitting there? Her mama smiled and shook her head. Honey, not anymore, she said. She buckled in and held her close while silence filled that narrow road. A flight attendant leaned my way, whispered words I'll never shake. Her daddy was supposed to fly today. he never made it home.
That empty seat on Flight 417 said more than words have ever been. No suitcase there, no cowboy hat, just everything she wished she had. Some heroes miss their flights to heaven before they make it home again. And sometimes love is measured most by the empty seats we leave behind. Halfway through the flight she looked at me, asked if I'd color with her please. She drew a house beneath blue skies with one man standing way up high. She pointed at the clouds outside, said, "Daddy says that's where he'll hide. Whenever I get scared at night, he'll turn the porch light on." I had to turn and face the window so she wouldn't see me cry. That empty seat on Flight 417 carried more than memory. It carried dreams that never landed, promises still floating free. Every mile across those clouds felt heavier somehow, because love doesn't disappear, it just changes where it's found. When we landed in Nashville, she reached up and hugged my neck, then tucked that little drawing inside my jacket vest. She whispered, "If you see my daddy, tell him I was brave. There wasn't a dry eye in Terminal C." Now every time I board a plane, I always notice one empty place. Not every chair is truly vacant. Some are filled with grace. And somewhere above these endless clouds, where the morning meets the blue, I believe the Father smiled that day, watching his little girl come through. Yeah, I'll never forget the empty seat on Flight 417. Grandpa's toolbox sat untouched for nearly 5 long years in the corner of the garage, collecting dust and memories. Rusty wrenches, bent up nails, receipts from 72, and 100 little pieces of a life nobody knew. One Saturday in early spring, I finally opened it, just looking for a socket set to fix a fence a bit. but underneath the bottom tray, folded tight and warm, was a hand-drawn map on yellow paper, weathered, stained, and torn. Across the top it simply said, for whoever finds this first, enlisted roads through Missouri and a dozen little towns, with circles drawn around old places I had never heard him name, and one short note beside the edge that only said, take the trip someday. So I loaded up my pickup and headed down the line, following that faded map, one county road at a time. The first stop was an old diner where a waitress smiled and said, your granddad used to stop right here every Thursday before dawn. And that map in Grandpa's toolbox wasn't leading me to gold, it was leading me through stories that had never been told. Every turn revealed a chapter, every mile revealed a man, and I realized how little we know about the lives behind our family names. One pin led to a schoolhouse where he fixed the furnace free, another to a farmhouse where he'd helped a widow keep her wheat. There was a church in Kansas where he built a handicap ramp, and a riverbank in Iowa where he rescued a boy from the current's grasp. No newspaper had ever written a single word about those days, no medals hung upon his wall, no headlines praised his name. But town after town I met folks whose lives he'd quietly changed, and each story painted someone bigger than I'd ever known. Yeah, that map in Grandpa's toolbox wasn't leading me to gold, it was leading me through kindness he never stopped to show. Every stop revealed a lesson, every road revealed the truth. The strongest people often leave their greatest work unseen. The final mark was on a hillside overlooking fields of corn, where Grandpa used to watch the sunset when he felt tired and warm. There I found a small tin box buried underneath the stone. Inside was one last letter, written in his careful hand. It said, if you're reading this, remember, life ain't measured by what you own, it's measured by the people smiling because you helped them carry on. And if you ever feel forgotten or wonder what your life is worth, leave this world a little better than the day you found it first. And now that map hangs in my hallway where I see it every day, and whenever I get lost, it still shows me the way.
There was a gym down in Amarillo with paper stars taped to the walls. The senior prom was Friday night, I still remember every song. You stood there in a blue dress, laughing with your friends by the door. I had your name written in my pocket, but I never crossed that floor. By Monday you were gone to Austin, college dreams in city lights. I stayed back working on my daddy's ranch, trading books for barbed wire. Years rolled by like tumbleweeds, marriage came and slipped away. But every spring I'd hear our old song and drift back to that gymnasium, to the dance we never had, the kiss I never stole, the words I kept inside my chest, till they turned to dust and smoke. Funny how one silent moment can follow you for years. Sometimes the loudest heartbreak is the one nobody hears. Last October at the county fair, I saw those blue eyes once again. A little older, a little wiser, but I'd know that smile anywhere. You laughed and said I waited that night, thought maybe you'd ask me first. I smiled and shook my head, thinking that almost hurt worse. To the dance we never had, the kiss I never stole, the words I kept inside my chest, till they turned to dust and smoke. Funny how one silent moment can follow you for years. Sometimes the loudest heartbreak is the one nobody hears. Then the band started playing softly, an old country waltz we both knew. You reached your hand across the table and whispered we still could, if you want to. So we danced the dance we never had, 40 years behind its time, gray in our hairlines on our faces, but your hand still fit in mine. The crowd disappeared around us like the world had slipped away. Turns out forever sometimes waits for hearts that never changed. And somewhere that shy young cowboy smiled, 'cause he finally crossed the floor.
I was 23 and reckless, working shrimp boats off the coast. Thought I had forever waiting, thought a young man couldn't lose much. She ran the bait shop by the harbor, with salt wind tangled in her hair. Every morning she'd wave me out, standing on that weathered pier. Then came September's angry waters, black clouds rolling from the sea. The radio warned all vessels, turn around immediately. But pride can be a dangerous compass when you're trying to prove you're strong. I pushed farther into open water, and before long, everything went wrong. And the lighthouse at Cape Fear cut through the storm and all my fear, like a promise shining through the rain, calling me back home again. When the waves were high as mountains and hope was hanging by a thread, the light kept reaching through the darkness till it led me back instead. The engine died around midnight and the sea threw me around. I thought about her waiting on the shoreline, praying I'd be found. Then through the sheets of rain and thunder, a single beam broke through the black. I pointed my bow toward that light and somehow found my way back. And the lighthouse at Cape Fear cut through the storm and all my fear, like a promise shining through the rain, calling me back home again. When the waves were high as mountains and hope was hanging by a thread, that light kept reaching through the darkness till it led me back instead. That was 20 years ago this autumn. Now my hair's turning gray, and every time I pass that shoreline, I still bow my head and pray. Some lights are built from stone and steel, some shine inside a faithful heart, and both can save a drifting soul. When the world falls apart, yeah, the lighthouse at Cape Fear still stands against the passing years. And every time its beam sweeps by, it reminds me how close I came that night. I got the girl, we raised a family and built a life beside the sea. It all began with a light in the storm that refused to give up on me. Yeah, some miracles don't make the news, they just got a man back home. There's a handmade quilt on Grandma's porch, folded on that old porch swing, stitched together from scraps of denim, Sunday dresses and wedding rings. Every patch has got a story, every thread's been pulled with care, and if you sit there long enough, you can almost hear them in the air. That faded red piece came from Grandpa's shirt, the one he wore out in the hay. The little blue square was Mama's dress on her graduation day. There's a bit of lace from Aunt Louise, and army green from Uncle Ray, all sewn together through the years, so nobody fades away. Like that quilt on Grandma's porch, we're all pieces of something more, woven through the laughter and the hurt, through every blessing and every storm. Time may pull us different ways, and miles may spread us far apart, but love keeps stitching us together like a quilt across the heart. Last Thanksgiving, the whole family came from Dallas, Tulsa, and Tennessee. Kids ran circles through the yard, just like we did back in '93. Grandma sat there on that swing with silver hair and gentle eyes, smiling at 4 generations beneath that golden of something more, woven through the laughter and the hurt, through every blessing and every storm. Time may pull us different ways, and miles may spread us far apart, but love keeps stitching us together like a quilt across the heart. Now the porch sits quiet these days, since we laid Grandma down to rest, but that old quilt still catches sunsets, like she's holding all of us close, yeah. Yeah, that quilt on Grandma's porch still
tell stories without a word of farmers, soldiers, mothers, dreamers, and every lesson that we learn. And when the evening shadows fall and the whippoorwill starts to sing, I wrap it around my shoulders sometimes and feel the love she left in everything. Yeah, some people leave this world behind, but their hands stay in the seams.
Rode into Cedar Creek at 10:30 with a rusted duffel bag and a past full of sin. The church bell rang through the Alabama air like it still remembered a boy who grew up there. Mama's porch light glowed at the end of the lane. Same white swing, same window pane. I stood in the gravel with my boots in the dust, wondering if this town still had room for us. 10 years gone chasing city neon signs, trading quiet sunsets for overtime. I lost a good woman somewhere along the way. Missed birthdays and Christmas Day. Daddy's old toolbox sat beside the barn, covered in rust but still holding strong. That's when I learned what I'd been running from. A man ain't rich if he's got no one. I'm back to Cedar Creek, back where the river bends, back to the front porch nights and my oldest friends, back where the stars still shine without the city lights, back to the roots I left behind. I thought freedom lived somewhere far away, down endless highways I could never stay. But every road I took led me to see home was waiting back in Cedar Creek for me. Now the wheat fields dance in the evening wind, and the boy I was is alive again. Mama laughs while the coffee brews, talking about all the things I used to do. The scars are there, but they don't define every wrong turn shaped this life of mine. And when the sun drops low beyond the trees, I finally feel a little peace. I'm back to Cedar Creek, back where the river bends, back to the front porch nights and my oldest friends, back where the stars still shine without the city lights, back to the roots I
but every road I took led me to see home was waiting back in Cedar Creek for me. The miles don't disappear, they become part of your soul. Every broken mile marker helped me find the road. And the man looking back in that old truck glass ain't the same young fool from the past. I'm back to Cedar Creek, where the church bells ring, where the river keeps telling the same sweet thing, where forgiveness grows like summer rain, washing years of hurt away. I spent a lifetime searching for what I couldn't see. Turns out home was the thing that rescued me. And under these Alabama stars tonight, I'm finally where my heart belongs.
There's a wooden bench at mile 42 along an old Wyoming trail with a mountain view. It ain't on any map you'll find in a tourist stand, just a place beside the pines where the wildflowers still dance. I first saw it one September after 14 hours on the road, hauling cattle through the bighorns with a heavy load. The sun was dropping low, painting gold across the sky, and carved into the back were words that caught my eye. If you're tired, sit a while. A year went by before I passed that way again. This time after losing my brother, my closest friend. The world felt colder than the snow building on the peaks. Grief had stolen every answer I was trying to seek. So I pulled over by that bench as evening settled in, found a notebook in a weatherproof box tucked underneath it then, filled with notes from strangers passing through the years, written in faded ink, stained by rain and tears. At the bench at mile 42, of the truth, a prayer, a memory, a goodbye, a reason to keep moving through the night. Some roads are lonely, that's for sure. Some wounds take longer to endure, but hope keeps showing up somehow at the bench at mile 42. One note came from a trucker who beat cancer in the spring. Another from a young girl learning what forgiveness means. A widow wrote about her husband and the stars he loved to see. And every page somehow felt like it was speaking straight to me. I sat there till the moon rose high above the mountain line, reading stories from strangers who had survived their hardest times. Then I took my pen and wrote my brother's name inside. For the first time since he left, I didn't feel alone that night. At the bench at mile 42, people leave pieces of the truth. A prayer, a memory, a goodbye, a reason to keep moving through the night. Some roads are lonely, that's for sure. Some wounds take longer to endure, but hope keeps showing up somehow at the bench at mile 42. Nobody knows who built it there or who first placed that notebook down. But sometimes the best things in this world appear without a sound. Not every hero wears a badge, not every gift has a name. Sometimes healing starts with strangers who've walked through the same pain. Now every fall I stop again and add another page with a pen, watching the sunset fade beyond the blue. And when life gets heavy, when the answers disappear, I remember all those voices that I found out there, and how a simple wooden bench helped carry people through. Yeah, hope still waits beside the pines at the bench at mile 42. First time I saw him was a Friday in May at a roadside market off Highway 61. She was buying wildflowers with dirt on her jeans, laughing like she didn't need anyone. A Tennessee sunset painted gold in her hair while she loaded up an old Ford bed. And for reasons I still can't explain, I couldn't get her out of my head. She rented a little white house by the river with a porch swing and a blue front door. Every Sunday she'd leave fresh wildflowers on the graves of folks she'd never known before. She said, everybody deserves to be remembered, even if nobody calls their name. That's when I knew my life was changing, and I'd never be the same. fences bent, and small town souls that needed light. She turned ordinary into bright, and somehow she found this worn out man, taught these rough old hands to hold again. Yeah, love grew where nobody thought it could. She left wildflowers where she stood. That October underneath the maple trees, I got down on one knee by the riverbank. The leaves were falling around us slow, and I could barely get the words out straight. She laughed and cried at the same time. Said, boy, what took you so long? Then slipped her hand into mine, like that's where it'd been all along. She left wildflowers everywhere she went, in broken hearts and fences bent, and small town souls that needed light. She turned ordinary into bright, and somehow she found this worn out man, taught these rough old hands to hold again. Yeah, love grew where nobody thought it could. She left wildflowers where she stood. Now there's a little girl with her mama's smile, running barefoot through the yard, picking flowers by the riverside, leaving them in mason jars. And every time I see that scene, I thank the Lord above for the woman who showed me kindness could become the deepest kind of love. Yeah, she left wildflowers everywhere she went, in every dream and every blessing sent, in every sunset on the porch at night, in every reason my world feels right. When we're old and gray together, rocking slow beneath the evening sky, I'll still be falling for that girl with wildflowers in her eyes. Yeah, some people leave footprints in the dirt. She left wildflowers in my life. The windmill on Miller Road still turns above the field, just like it did back in '98, when life felt strong and real. Dad would wake before the sunrise, coffee in his hand, and I'd ride shotgun in that tractor across the Kansas land. We talked about the weather and the price of grain that year. He never spoke in big words, but somehow everything was clear. Said, son, a man ain't measured by the money that he makes. It's the promises he keeps and the burdens that he takes. I was 19 when I left that town, chasing city lights. Thought the Great Plains were too small for the dreams inside my mind. Built a business in Missouri, bought a house and wore a tie. But success can feel like failure when your roots are running dry. Then one cold November morning, my called in tears, said you better come on home now, Dad's been fighting hard for years. I stared out at that office glass and watched the traffic flow, and for the first time in forever I knew exactly where to go. So I drove through the midnight rain, past every mile of pride and pain, back to the fields where I learned my name, where the wind still sings across the plains. That old windmill keeps turning slow, like the hands of time I used to know, and every lesson that my father gave still stands like steel above the waves. The hospital room was quiet when I walked through the door. He looked smaller than I'd ever seen, but his eyes were strong once more. He smiled and said, "You made it, son," then pointed through the glass toward the winter fields outside, where the snow was falling fast. We didn't talk about regrets or all the years gone by, just watched the clouds move over Kansas beneath the fading sky. He squeezed my hand and whispered low, "The farm will need your care." And in that simple moment I knew my future waited there. So I drove through the midnight rain, past every mile of pride and pain, back to the fields where I learned my name, where the wind still sings across the plains. That old windmill keeps turning slow, like the hands of time I used to know, and every lesson that my father gave still stands like steel above the waves. Spring came early that next year, the wheat rose tall and green. Sometimes I still hear his voice carried on the prairie breeze. And when the sunset paints the sky in shades of gold and red, I tip my hat toward Miller Road and thank the man who led. Now I walk those fields at dawn, though the years keep moving on. The windmill turns above the land, like my father's weathered hands. Every season comes and goes, every child eventually knows the richest things we'll ever own are the people who call us home. That old windmill keeps turning slow, and every time I see it blow, I know the roots I almost lost were worth far more than what they cost. Met her at exit 17 on a Sunday morning drive at a roadside farmer's market just outside of Caroline. She was selling jars of honey from her granddad's old beef farm, with sunlight in her brown hair and wildflowers in her arms. I stopped to buy a mason jar and head on down the road, but we got to talking about the weather and the places we called home. An hour slipped away like dust drifting through the breeze, and somehow that little roadside stand felt like where I was meant to be. The next week I came back again, pretending I needed more honey stacked up in my kitchen, from the visits before. She laughed and called me out on it, said you ain't hard to read, then handed me lemonade and pulled up a chair for me. By August we were dancing at the county fair at night, beneath the string of colored bows, glowing soft and bright. The band played an old two-step while stars filled up the sky, and I knew right then I didn't want another goodbye. She feels like Sunday morning at exit 17, like a place you've never seen, but somehow always dreamed. Like the first warm sun after a week of pouring rain, like finding your way home without knowing you were lost along the way. She ain't fireworks or a runaway train. She's a steady kind of love that stays, and every day with her still feels like Sunday morning at exit 17. Now there's a porch swing by the farmhouse where we watch the evening fade, and a little girl who runs around the yard chasing butterflies all day. The honey stand still opens every weekend in the spring, and folks still stop to buy a jar and hear the old bees sing. Sometimes I'll catch her smiling when she thinks I'm not aware, and I swear she's just as beautiful as that first morning there. Funny how a simple stop can change a whole life's course, like turning down a road you almost passed before. She feels like Sunday morning at exit 17, like a place you've never seen, but somehow always dreamed. Like the first warm sun after a week of pouring rain, like finding your way home without knowing you were lost along the way. She ain't fireworks or a runaway train. She's a steady kind of love that stays, and every day with her still feels like Sunday morning at exit 17. People talk about forever like it's some impossible thing, but forever's just 1,000 little moments in between. A cup of coffee on the porch, her hand reaching for mine, the ordinary things that make a life shine. Yeah, she feels like Sunday morning at exit 17, like the sweetest little blessing I never saw coming, like a song the radio plays exactly when you need a reminder that the best things arrive quietly. She ain't fireworks or a runaway train. She's the steady kind of love that stays, and after all these years she still feels like Sunday morning at exit 17. The morning fog was hanging low on the Blue Ridge line. An old red barn stood crooked where we spent our younger time. I rolled through town on Highway 221, past the diner by the courthouse where my story had begun. Mama's porch light faded in my rear view years ago, chasing bigger dreams through cities that never felt like home. I traded mountain sunsets for a skyline made of steel, but every mile I wandered left a wound that wouldn't heal. I worked the night shift winters in the cold Tennessee rain, carried more regrets than dollars, riding freight trains through the pain. Then a letter from my brother showed up worn and stained with age, said, "Dad still leaves your fishing pole beside the river every day." I stopped beside an overlook as daylight slipped away, watched the mountains turn to shadows, and I heard my conscience say, "Some roads are meant for leaving, some are meant to bring you back." And I finally turned the wheel toward the life I used to have. I'm coming back to the Blue Ridge Hills, to the church bells ringing and the whippoorwills, to the front porch stories and the river bend where the hard times broke me and the healing began. Every wrong turn led me where I needed to go, through the storm, through the heartache, through the winding roads. Now the mountains call my name like they always will. I'm coming back, I'm coming back to the Blue Ridge Hills. Dad was standing by the mailbox when I pulled into the drive, a little older, a little slower, but the fire was still alive. He didn't say much when he hugged me in the fading evening light. Some things don't need explaining when you've been gone half your life. Mama set an extra plate and laughed the way she used to do. The radio's playing old songs drifting through the room, and for the first time in forever I felt the weight release, like the mountains wrapped around me and handed back my peace. I'm coming back to the Blue Ridge Hills, to the church bells ringing and the whippoorwills, to the front porch stories and the river bend where the hard times broke me and the healing began. Every wrong turn led me where I needed to go, through the storm, through the heartache, through the winding roads. Now the mountains call my name like they always will. I'm coming back, I'm coming back to the Blue Ridge Hills. You can spend your whole life running from the boy you used to be, but the roots beneath your footsteps grow deeper than you see. And when the world gets heavy and the highway loses light, home is more than a place, it's the reason you survive. I'm finally back
in the Blue Ridge Hills, where the sunrise paints the valleys and the time stands still, with my family beside me and the river rolling slow. There's a kind of peace you'll never find out on your own. Every long road brought me to this front porch view, to the memories I left and the dreams that came true. Now these mountains hold my heart like they always will. I'm finally home, I'm finally home in the Blue Ridge Hills.
There's a forgotten mining town tucked deep in Colorado hills, where the railway quit running and the clocks all learned to stand still. Most folks packed their lives in boxes when the silver dried away, but old Walter Green stayed behind and watched the years decay. Every evening at sundown he'd walk the empty street, past the boarded up hotel and the church without a priest. Then he'd climb the ridge above town where the cold winds always blew, and light a lantern by the tracks like he'd done his whole life through. The story went that 40 years ago his young son disappeared on a snowstorm night in January, the worst they'd seen in years. The boy had left to catch a train and never made it there. Nobody found no final words, just questions in the mountain air. People called it foolish hope, a wound that wouldn't heal, but Walter never missed a night, no matter how he'd feel. Through blizzards, floods, and summer heat, through every passing year, the lantern kept on burning bright for someone who might appear. And the last lantern in Black Creek still shines where the old rails meet, like a promise made that never broke, like a prayer rising through the smoke. When the whole world says let go, some hearts refuse to lose their hope. So the last lantern in Black Creek burns for the one who never came home. Then one October evening, when the aspens turned to gold, a stranger stepped off a freight train looking tired, gray and old. He stood beneath that lantern light with tears upon his face and stared toward the silent town like he recognized the place. Walter heard the footsteps coming down the gravel road. At first he thought the mountain wind was playing tricks again, but when the stranger softly said, "Dad, it's finally me," 40 years of sorrow broke like rain into the sea. And the last lantern in Black Creek still shines where the old rails meet, like a promise made that never broke,
But every soul in that old town still talks about that autumn night when hope outlived the hands of time and faith outshined the dark. Now the lantern's gone from Black Creek, the tracks lie quiet in their sleep, but the legend travels mountain winds through every valley, ridge and stream, that sometimes love keeps waiting long after reason says it's done, and sometimes one small light can guide a lost heart safely home. Yes, sometimes one small light can guide a lost heart safely home.
There's a pawn shop on the edge of Tulsa by the railroad line, where old guitars and wedding rings wait to outrun harder times. One rainy Tuesday afternoon, killing time on my lunch break, I walked inside that dusty room just to get out of the rain. Behind a shelf of hunting boots and yellowed photographs hung a battered violin with a crack across its back. A handwritten tag beneath it read, "Not for sale today." And something about that little note made me stop and stay. The owner was an old man named Charlie Reed, who'd worked that counter 40 years, maybe more than he believed. I asked him why that violin never seemed to leave the wall. He smiled and poured us both some coffee. Then he told me it all. Back in '87, when the oil fields went bust, a young father brought it in because he had to feed his son. Said he'd buy it back someday when life got back on track. But the years kept moving forward and he never made it back. So the violin in the pawn shop waits like a promise frozen in time and space, for a hand that remembers every note it knew, for a dream that never quite made it through. Some things are worth more than money can say, more than a price tag fading away. And every scar in that old wood sings of the lives we carry in little things. A month later, Charlie called me out of the blue. Said, "You ain't gonna believe who's standing here wanting news." An old man with silver hair and hands worn thin with age had walked into the shop asking about that very case. He said, "My daddy used to play that fiddle every night till hard times took it from him. When I was just a child, he passed before he got it back, but he spoke about it still, and I promised if I found it, I'd bring it home for him." Now the violin from the pawn shop sings in a house where grandchildren gather and dream. Its melody carries across the room like a voice returning after years of silence too. Some things are worth more than money can say, more than a lifetime drifting away. And every scar in that old
of the lives we carry in little things. That night the family gathered on the porch under Oklahoma stars, and for the first time in 40 years they heard their grandfather's song. Not from a record or a story told, but from strings alive once more. And every note seemed to open up a long-forgotten door. Yeah, the violin from the pawn shop came home after decades wandering alone, and the music filled the spaces time had left behind. Now when the evening settles down and the crickets start their choir, that old fiddle tells a story that survives every fire. 'Cause love don't disappear with years, and dreams don't always die. Sometimes they just wait patiently for the right hands to arrive.
Friday night in Cheyenne, Wyoming, dust rising under arena lights. The whole town packed those metal bleachers, waiting on the ride of the night. I was 25 and full of fire, with a borrowed dream and a busted knee, holding on to one last season before life decided who I'd be. The chute gate rattled like thunder, that black bull weighed near 2 grand. Folks called him Devil's Highway, nobody stayed on him long. I wrapped that rope around my glove, heard the crowd fade into the dark. Funny how the loudest moments always start with a quiet heart. It's only 8 seconds forever, 8 seconds hanging between fear and faith, 8 seconds to prove to yourself you ain't backing down today. The world keeps telling you play it safe, but some dreams don't work that way. Sometimes the whole life fits inside 8 seconds forever. The gate flew open like a shotgun blast, and all hell broke loose below. That bull twisted left then right, trying hard to throw my soul. I felt my shoulder nearly give out, heard the buzzer cut through the air, and when my boots hit Wyoming dirt, I knew I'd left a piece of me there. It's only 8 seconds forever, 8 seconds hanging between fear and faith, 8 seconds to prove to yourself you ain't backing down today. The world keeps telling you play it safe, but some dreams don't work that way. Sometimes a whole life fits inside 8 seconds forever. I never wanna go buckle, never made the Hall of Fame, but I still see those lights every time I close my eyes. And honestly, I'd do it all again, 'cause some victories don't need trophies, just a story worth telling someday. Yeah, it's only 8 seconds forever, but those seconds changed my life. Taught me courage ain't about winning, it's showing up and taking the ride. And now my son wears my old cowboy hat and dreams beneath the same big sky. And when he asks me what it means to live, I tell him find something worth risking for. 'Cause the best moments don't last forever, but forever can live in a moment